work as an instructor at the AIFF grassroots level for the leadership course, that is the certificate course now, which recently we have changed the name. Earlier it was called grassroots leaders course, but now we have changed the name and it's called as e-certificate course, AIFF e-certificate course. I have not been able to see the screen, Saina.
Yeah, just a second.
So we are going to talk about passing, receiving. So basically, I will just first, divide. I have just done little bit of homework because I have written some of the notes which are very much relevant to passing. Okay, so basically, what is passing? So I guess I don't know about every individual who is there in this group, but I hope everyone knows about passing, but we will a little bit understand a little more about passing by, passing the ball and keeping a part of association, football. The purpose. Now we understand purpose. Why we do pass? Why we do passing? So passing is to keep the possession of the ball. There is some disturbance, I guess. Someone.
Please unmute mute yourself, please, Vinesh.
Yes. Thank you. The
Thank
purpose
you.
purpose is important. When you want to pass the ball, there should be purpose in any game, whether you play 5v5, 4v4, 2v2, or 11v11. So now when the ball comes to you, there should be purpose of passing. Purpose is to keep the ball possession between the different players. Now the capacity, the caliber of the players are, what to say, it's totally different from each other. So the caliber of every individual is totally different than each other. So that's why passing is to keep the ball in between the team and in between the players. Also you need to understand passing the ball, you need to have a receiver. Passing can be only done when you have a receiver. Now if suppose in relation with I have the ball and I don't have any options, the responsibility more depends on here, to create the passing is with the non passing the ball. Whoever has no ball has to go quickly immediately into the space and create space to create that pass to happen between the players, between the team. So very logistically simply it is like we need each other in the team. When we say team, and we possess, that means the ball possess with the team. So as simple as that. What is passing? Passing is the purpose to keep the ball possession. Okay. Before we go, how do we pass the ball? So before we understand how do we pass the ball, we also have to know there are different types of passing. In fact, before we know how to pass the ball, we need to understand there are different types of passes. And also when we talk about different types of passes, we also should make sure understand that which part of our foot has we use to do that particular passing. So basically how do you pass the ball? So we understand first the different types of passing. The different types of passings are, that is called push pass, long pass, backward pass, wall pass. So there are different types of passes. In fact, we oftenly say, oh, play the long ball, play the short ball, play the short pass, play push pass, play backward. So there are as many as passes. Like even if you head and pass, that is also a passing. So head and pass. So there are different types of passing. In fact, so now how to pass is important. How to pass the ball is you should have your non-kicking foot closer to the ball. And sometimes it debatable, but sometimes when you teach at a younger age, it's been always important for you to guide them properly. when you guide, when you teach someone to how to pass, it is always like we coaches have been come across inside of the foot. So which part of the foot is important when you want to teach. Now again, when we talk about the part of the foot, we need to also emphasize on the ball, where which part of the ball you need to hit. Whether you want the ball to go high, whether you want to go ball to the lower at the ground surface, it is depending on every actions are important during the during the skill development period. So skill development period is when you teach how to pass the ball. So it is basically non-kicking foot should be closer to the ball, and the kicking foot should be little bit hard, hold properly, hold on the ankle should be tight, ankle should be locked, and then you push the ball. When you push the ball, center of the ball, if you push, the ball will go straight, ball will drive whatever pace you want to put. It depends all on you how much distance you want to send the pass. It is all about calculation. Then you have to understand where when to pass. I think Sanya, you have gone ahead where to pass. So come back to how do you pass.
Is it fine?
Yes, yes, yes. Stay on the same side. Yes. When we say okay, when we say push pass, so push pass is basically when you place your foot with the inside of the foot. Now we talk about long pass. Basically, long pass is every time when you want to send the ball long. It depends whether you want to send the ball in the air or on the ground across. So it is again, you need to understand the distance and calculate how much pressure to put. So again, if you want to say overhead ball, that is called long ball. So you need to hit the ball right under the ball, and then uh, your foot should be deep inside the very deep inside the ball, so that the ball raises up and reaches to your target, reaches to your opponent, or reaches to your teammate. So back foot pass is always we say okay, put the foot and play backside. So it's like depending whether you use the sole, whether you use your heel. So basically some of the other we have seen, like when we give back pass, it is like backward pass is like always most of the good players, most of the players, they use their foot, heel, to push the ball. So again, it requires lot of practice if you want to do back foot pass, because it needs a lot of training. The skill has to be practiced again and again if you want to become better and better. Now again, wall pass is basically what we say one touch. Wall pass is like when you give and immediately you just shift the ball without receiving the ball, you give the ball same one touch and you push the ball to your opponent. So now can we go for the where you where do you pass the ball. Now we talk about where. It depends. Now again, if you want to play in the safe zone, you have to play the ball right towards your player. So again, if you want to play the ball, you have to play towards the player. Now you want to break through, then you have to play the ball in between the space where you can see the space by calculating the speed and the length where you want to send and how much time it will take for my players to receive the same ball. So I think basically when we say where do you pass the ball, so it again depends on the situation. It depends on the situation, which part of the ground you are using, where you want to go, which side you want to go, whether you want to travel towards the opponent side, or whether you are good enough to keep the ball possession of the team, or whether you are playing the ball towards your own goal where you want to keep the ball possession. So it depends on every individual, every player, every situation. Okay, we talk about where we pass.
Joao sir, hello.
Yes, yes.
I just wanted to give one point. Is it okay if I speak?
Please, 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 please.
Yeah, okay. So, guys, I was just reading a book of Raymond Veregin, the Football Academy. He has like world coach, Football Academy or something. It is there. So basically, there was a point where and why do you pass the ball? So let's say I am there, Joao sir is there. Okay, Joao sir is having a defender on his right. So where will I be putting the ball? Onto his left, just because there is already a player standing on the right. The left would be the simplest part. So we are not even talking, and I gave him the ball. So where am I passing the ball? On the left side, just because there is already a player on his right. So that is something I just wanted to get into this. And then again it comes to why am I passing the ball? Because there is my left side mein hi kyun pass kar raha hu? Because already there is a player on the right. So this is just a small thing I just wanted to interpret, sir. Thank you.
Yes, see, it's collective. At the end, when we speak where to pass, it is very much important. It's basically a tactical part, but it has to be practiced. It has to be, implemented by your players, by your coaches, because definitely what Trishul has said is correct. Because sometimes, see, where you pass or why you don't pass, that is also a big question mark when the opponent is there on you, but it's like win-win situation, because 11 versus 11, or you are playing 5v5, 5v5. That means like the ratio of the player definitely will be equal. So everyone will have a player if you have the ball also, but there will be pressure on you, no doubt. But it's a situation where you play and how you play the ball, which side exactly, like whether you are marked or no. Exactly what we want to look into this is where you play the ball. That is important. As Prashul already gave you the rough idea about where you will play. If my opponent is there on my right side, so I will definitely ask the ball on the left side. So equal responsibility from the passer and the receiver. So it's like what we say in football is show. So show the side. So usually we guide the players, the youth players and all. Hey, show the side. Show him. So it's like you keep the opponent on your weaker side, and then receive it on the stronger side, and then move. So basically, yes, definitely. When the opponent is coming on you, like it's like that the opponent is quick and he is coming on you, you give you the pass and then you are safe. So you play before the opponent comes. Definitely when the pressure is there, when the pressure will be there on you, you will definitely want the ball to be played. Yes. So it's like when the pressure is on behind you, and then you play the ball in the front direction or side. So before, again, this depends on where, and then again you see your left wing. If you are on right wing, right flank, and you see your left flank is totally empty, and you can see the player, where is my player, and then you can put the ball long, so that before the opponent shift, you send the ball, because ball travels much faster than the players. So it depends on the every situation. Any questions on passing? If anything is there, please let us discuss. Anyone? Okay, let's talk about now receiving the ball. We have been talking about passing. So now again here, as I already mentioned, y'all, when you want to do passing, you need to have a receiver. Receiver is equivalent, important person when you want to receive. Now receiving is again the skill of raising in a soccer, even individual act. I would say it is an individual act of receiving the ball. It depends how you receive, where you receive, and which side you receive. The closest side, the fastest side, or the blocking side. So that depends on how do you receive the ball. Receive the ball in the air, receive the ball in the ground, receive the ball in the comfortable position with the sole. There are many tactics where you receive the ball. You can receive the ball inside of the foot, outside of the foot, with the sole. There are many. You can receive and go. There are a lot of different technique when it comes to receiving. So getting better control on the ball is receiving one aspect of football. So if you have the ball 100% in your capacity, then the ball is with you. So the receiver has to be sure to receive the ball 100% before the opponent comes and tackle the ball. You need to shield the ball. You need to have the ball with you. Where do we receive the ball? So where do we receive the ball is depending on the situation. Again, it's like equal responsibility of a person, non-playing person who is traveling. I mean to say, whoever runs in the space and create that space is when you have a good receive. So if you are delayed, if you have done seconds of delays, that kills sometimes. So the ball has to be, 100% received. What happens is, most of the time, most of the matches, if we see, players make the decision of passing. The other players don't take the decision of running. So that time, most of the time, you see a lot of miss pass happening. Either the ball will be going to the opponent, either the ball will be going to the outline, either the ball will travel to the opponent's feet. So it depends really. When you create the space, when you send the ball, you need to be there on the right time, on the right place. Okay. Moving on to receiving next. So last part, what I would guide and give example of, when you receive the ball, now after receiving, where you want to go. So it's depend when you want to receive the ball and where you want to go. Again, there are three golden moments in football, which are very important, which have been emphasized more: when you have the ball, when you lose the ball, and when you regain the ball. So these are the things where focused on passing and receiving really looks like. When you have the ball, it's purpose to keep the ball possession. When you lose the ball, what you need to do is you need to fight for the ball as soon as possible. And the third thing is, when you receive the ball, then what you do with the same ball. So you need to again keep possession, try to focus and push and try to score the other side. Any questions?
Wow, sir. I just wanted to, get into it by just asking a very simple question. So basically, if we can, glance more about like how those receiving can, affect in terms of ring football or something as such, because it is played 4v4 as far as it is there. So let's talk about receiving. So what is the maximum time how we receive the ball? It is usually with the lace part, sorry, it is usually with the sole part that how we receive the ball in 4v4, right? That is because how we want to keep it close to you, close to us. That is how it is. So if you can just glance on it, it would have been a better one.
Yeah, similarly, what I understand is, here now ring football again. I have seen some of the videos about ring football, how quick it is, how fast it is. Definitely, 4v4 is very close, compact format, similar to futsal. So, futsal also, like, basically, you see futsal, each and every ball, they will trap only with the sole. Sole, why? Because you need to have better control on the ball. You need to what this is like, you have to stick the ball to your body. So sole is the best part, where you can have 100% control on the ball, and you can move whichever side you want, as soon as possible, as soon as quick you can move whichever side. What happens if you trap the ball with inside of the foot is, basically, you have one touch on the ball, and then second, what you do is you try to shift the body, towards the ball, to across the ball. So round you have to go if you want to go other side. Wherein, if you are sharp enough, if you are brave enough, if you control the trap the ball with the sole, and you can turn your body immediately by without having that entire turn. So this is the one advantage where I think I have seen some of the ring football basically, and also some of the national games as well. I think they most of the time they use sole because it is very easy to move and go through, change the direction, dragging the ball and beating an opponent. It's like more relevant in terms of ring football.
So, sir, do you remember we had a session about the same? So, I have just discussed the same with everyone over here. So, I hope you guys remember the first example we did in the first day. So, it was pushing the ball towards the wall and then trying to get the ball back. So, when you receive the ball, when you try to receive it from your inside foot, you see your eyes going down, looking at the ball. But the moment you try to receive it with the sole part, your body is going to be straight. Try it. I'm giving you a very good example. Just try it whenever you're free.
Yeah, basically what we had worked is similarly. It has been always good. If you now also, if you do this activity with your leg, if you open up your leg in inside of the foot, definitely your eyes will go down if you do it now also. If- with sitting also, you in the room or wherever you are sitting, you just do inside of the open up your inside of the foot, and then you see your head goes down. And if you just place your foot in front of you with toe pointing in front, it definitely gives you, there is no need you to see down, because that already that the actions are always repeated, and then the things happening for you. Rightly said, Prashul. It is like more advantage for you. You don't have to, look up, look down, and then again turn. So basically, with keeping the foot on the ball, you can look around. You can make decision more faster than what you do normally. Anything more?
Any questions, guys? Guys, we have a 2-minute question and answers session. So if any questions, you can just unmute yourself and ask, or else just type in a chat box regarding passing and receiving. Abu Bakar, Avinesh, Gagan, Sagar, Shahjan, Shashikant. Any questions? We only got a message from Nishad. What about rest, guys? Passing में कौन सी technique used होती है? We have one question from Avinesh.
Passing में कौन सी technique use होती है? Depends on which kind of pass you want to do. So again, as I explained, long pass, short pass, one touch pass. So it depends really. But which pass, basically when we teach, it depends on which team you coach. When we teach at grassroots level, basically it's like first priority to teach the boys to pass with their inside of the foot. So inside, why inside of the foot is because it's a bigger portion of our foot where you get the foot in contact with the ball. So basically that is the idea. But if you just analyze and see small children, you give them the ball and they kick with the toe. So that is more comfortable for them, because they are like just kicking the ball. There is difference between just kicking the ball and passing the ball. So there are a lot of things where even on your first day, whichever children are coming to you, if you just give the ball to them without teaching them anything, if they are very new, raw, you just give them the ball and say, okay, you'll just kick the ball and go. They will definitely use the toe, and then they will try to push the ball and then try to run. But when you teach them the correct technique, passing technique is, you pass the ball with the inside of the foot, uh, where you have to contact the ball is right in the middle of the ball, so that the ball doesn't rise up, ball has to travel.
Sir,
Yes,
so I have a doubt.
please.
Sir, there's an offside rule in soccer. So sometimes when I usually play, so uh, when I pass towards means to my team player, they give an offside rule. So can you please explain it? Means what it exactly is?
Okay, offside rule is very complicated. In fact, this is one of the rule which like world is facing problem. It's not only you. Everyone is fighting for the offside rule, but it's like again it depends on uh, tactics. So if you are sharp, if you are brave enough to beat that particular, because it's kind of a it's an advantage for either side, both the teams. Like when you are playing with the opponent, if you are brave enough to maintain the offside trap, you can really put the team into the trouble. But again, the other side, if you are sharp enough, if you work on the breaking through offsides with different kind of techniques, then you can really beat one of the best team in the world. But then again, the way you ask the question, I would say basically you teach the children the technique when you say start late, reach first. So what happens is when you break the line of defense is after running behind from the defender. So when you are offside is when if you are in front of the last defender. So when you work with the line of defense, you send the ball, you start your flanks very late. The runner is running late to reach that ball. So when you can do it, when you have a speedy winger, so you can leave the ball through the gaps. The runner is still getting time to see the ball, and then he starts running, he reaches the first to the ball. So in that this case, if you have certain kind of players who has a lot of potential of who has very good speed, you can use them on flank. uh, I don't know, but many of the coaches I see, they use their best fastest players as a striker to reach the goal. But it depends again whether you want to go direct attack or whether you want to go from side and attack. So it depends again. But basically if I want to play in this particular this thing, I will use good sprinter who is most fast is on the wings, because they can one person who is there, they can leave the ball in between, and the winger can definitely come and cut the ball inside, and then they can also score. Certainly why is because direct there are a lot of less chances for my sprinter to go breaking through the defense, because there are many obstacles. But wide open, my if the ball is on the right direction, my player can receive and kill it. So depends. Again, it is vice versa. Advantage for both the teams having offside, because it is like one of the tactics where coaches definitely they use during the games and the practice.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sagar.
Hope you guys are clear with this session.
Prashul,
Any more questions?
Yes, sir. I'm listening. Tell me.
any discussion with regards with anything, then we can have
Uh, uh,
because I can see
okay.
some of the coaches, some of the players are there on this particular
Yeah,
one.
yeah. There's a mixture. The group is a mixture of few coaches and a few students over here. So that is how it is. So many of them are, new learners. So many of them are kids still now, and some of them are going to pursue. And we have one C license coach over here called Nishad. And yeah, it's good. So I wanted to discuss something about into
Please.
this. So I hope we have time, right, Sania?
Yeah.
We have time, right? Thanks. So, as you have, you have played. I don't know if you would be coming for next technical sessions or no, or any other coaches will be coming. So, just in case, like, what do you think? Like, what is the best things to do? As in, when we play futsal or maybe ring football, there's no, बहुत ज़्यादा difference नहीं है futsal और ring football में. It is 5v5, it is 4v4, as far as I know. There's only no goalkeeper rule in ring football, as far as I know. So, what would you do? Like if you are already training a team of 5v5 futsal, you want to get it into ring football. What would you do then? Like what tactics would you use? You might use like I don't know what you will use. It can be a diamond 1-2-1 or something as such. Anything. What would you do?
I think see it would be like
Sir, please not diplomatic answers, sir.
I would say winning every time. Whoever is best, whoever is quick in that particular. There are, see, now we have footballers, we have futsalers, and then now you are talking about ring football as well. Basically, I was part of the this thing Neymar also, Neymar 5, when we our team go from Goa, they had gone to Bangalore for the qualifying and
So you
also.
must be knowing Kalina Rangers there.
Sorry.
Kalina Rangers. Kalina
Yes.
Rangers, team from Mumbai.
Yes, yes, yes. So
So
basically,
yeah,
see, when we talk about 5v5 and 4v4, so 4v4, now again there is no goalkeeper here, and then you have there are situation of 2v2 every time.
right, right.
So everywhere you will see 2v2 or 3 versus 1 situation in rare cases. Where
Yeah,
in futsal, what happens is like you have 5 players, one is goalkeeper. Again, it is 4v4, and then there are many options where you get to see the situation of 3 versus 2, 4 versus 3, and then
right. Underload and overload advantages, something sort of thing, right?
yes, so sometimes it is overload with
Yeah,
the attacking team, which defenders has to face. Sometimes why it happens is then again you have to choice of the players. If I have a player who is not bother about who don't have qualities of defending, only he is doing good attacking. He is master. He is super in attacking, but he is not supporting your team for the defending. So it is definitely
right,
3 versus 4. So you
right.
have to think about those particular situations. It did happen with us on the top level also, when I was with Premier Futsal with Goa team. Ronaldinho was in our team. We played first match in Bangalore with Calcutta. I remember Crespo's team. uh,
Crespo's team, right, 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 right.
and we
Before
we
that, Salgado was there. Yeah.
Yes, we lost with them 4-0. Why we lost? If we may analyze,
He's not coming back.
yes, Ronaldinho was not coming from the
He
halfway
was
down.
playing. He was playing as a pivot player out there, or maybe a false nine sort of thing over there because वो एक striker position पे रुके थे. He was not
Right,
coming
right.
back.
He was not
The
coming beyond the line, I mean to say. So our it was always a situation of 4 versus 3, 4 versus 3.
4 versus 3.
It was getting overload, and then that's the reason we gave the
There'll be
match to them.
always a gap open when when we are playing in this sort of thing 4 versus 3. There's always a gap open for the fourth man to take a shot in between space, right?
Of
Yeah.
course, yes. And then futsal, again, see, futsal, there are a lot of rules. It's like power play. If you are
Fast.
yeah, if you are losing, and if you happen to if you are an intelligent coach and say, hey guys, go for power play, you just shift your goalkeeper and send. There is 5 versus 4 then, so it
For
becomes
yeah.
more overload on the defending team.
Right.
So it depends. It depends. Ring football, maybe 4v4. There are more situation of 2v2. Your players have to be good in attacking as well as defending. I think more defending than rather than attacking.
Right. So that's it, sir. I'm done with my question. I hope the discussion was good enough. So
uh,
over to you, sir.
yeah, thank you very much. I thoroughly enjoyed. If anyone I can help through any questions, if you have doubts, please. I think, Sanya, we have 2 more minutes.
I think the session is.
Okay, thank you so much, and all the best
You
for each
have
and
a
everyone.
activity coming on this session, okay, guys? So if you any questions, you can just be clear.
No questions. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Chalo, bye, Joao, sir. Take care.
bye,
Have
thank
a
you so much.
hope
Take care.
everything is good is happening. Chalo, bye.